Hello and welcome back. We are in the book Vision, Goals, and Self-Evaluation. We are now in chapter 3, which is spirituality and identity. We've taken a moment for you guys to go through and answer these questions and spend some time contemplating all of this information. So now let's just do a quick review. I want you to think about these questions. So what does spirituality mean to you? So how did that show up for you? Maybe you did a deep dive. Maybe you grew up in a spiritual world. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you grew up going to church. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you grew up with a family of faith. Maybe you didn't. Any number of those things might show up here. So just notice those. What does religion mean to you? Do you consider yourself a spiritual person? And if so, how does that show up in your life? Do you consider yourself a religious person? And how does that show up in your life? Okay, so this is all about self-awareness. If you grew up in a family that was very spiritual and or religious, great, write that out. How did that affect you? Do you have the same spiritual beliefs that your family does? Has that adjusted as you have grown? Have other people influenced that? Have your friends, have teachers, have other spiritual leaders affected that? Have you watched videos in YouTube, things that have given you a new perspective or some additional resources that might be helpful for you to understand that? And then how does your view of your spirituality influence and impact your personal identity? This question is so important. So I hope that you had some aha moments here. I hope that when you recognize that the influence of spirituality about where we came from, how we were created, what's unique about you, what's special about you, how does that lead into your identity? And this idea that you're needed, okay? You're needed in the world. So I have this idea. I love that movie Avatar when they're all under the tree of life or whatever they call it, and the Iwa are floating around. And it's this idea that everybody's connected and that when we're connected, we're whole. And if for some reason we're not connected, then almost like that electrical energy stops, right? So if I'm trying to be you and you're trying to be me, then the world is all broken. It's almost like, from electricity, it's like when you have a break, right? When it's like it can't flow. It's been broken in between. And so we don't have that energy, that power. And so the goal is for you to be you, for me to be me. And so that's what this whole section is about, is getting clear about that. Then we went into that giving of ourselves. What causes are you involved in? I would love to hear all the causes that you guys are involved in. This is such a wonderful way in the world. There's so many options. And then how do you contribute? And then how do you gain from that? How is your life benefited as you're helping to benefit the life of those around you? And then what do you believe about creation, salvation, and afterlife, right? How does that impact your vision and your mission statement? If you believe that this world is a world that is designed for determining your afterlife, and this is going to make a big impact of how you live your life. If you don't believe that, that's going to impact how you live your life. So again, my goal in this is not to try to lead you down one path or the other, but to get you to ask the question so that you come up with the answers, so that you know where you are and what you believe. Describe your true identity as a human being on the planet. I hope you guys got really creative with this and about how we all are here together. And then what are the best things about you? I hope you didn't have enough room on the page. I hope you had to add, excuse me, I hope you had to add some other pages, because I'm good at this and that and this and that. And I hope you just had fun writing this. Now, maybe at one of your birthday parties, some of your friends went around the room and did this. We're going to celebrate you. And they did this, emotional flooding. I forgot what it's called, this celebration flooding. So they're going to all flood you with all the good things about you. Wonderful. Write all that stuff down. And then what things could be improved. We can always get better. And then loving yourself and writing this I love you note. So how was that for you? Did you do it? Did you not do it? It's okay. I'm not suggesting either way, but if you didn't do it, no problem. And but I know that it's in your mind. And so even if you decided not to do it, there is the concept there of it in your mind. If you did do it and you did it, well, how was it like for you? Did you crack yourself up? I know sometimes I've done this. I'm like, it was kind of funny, right? Like I was kind of doing it in a way that felt just kind of fun and silly. And other ways was like, wow, this is really profound. The goal of this is that if we can't love ourselves, how can we possibly love those around us? And so the encouragement and goal here is for you to truly love yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? We know that none of us are perfect. Nobody's got it all figured out, right? But then we learn how to focus on our strengths. We learn how to love, encourage, inspire, influence each other, and forgive each other when we screw up, right? All right. We'll see you in the next video. We're going to get into chapter 4 now, which is now a little bit more on the external, which is life, vocation, and choices. Okay. We'll see you in the next videos.